Yeah, hi all. Good evening, everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about the transaction management and callable statement. Callable statement is meaning that how do you have to call uh, stored procedures and functions from Java. So, what's the transaction management? Is generally in database when we perform any operations such as update, insert, or delete, we have to issue the commit statement. Then only the data will store or delete permanently in the database. So otherwise the data will not save permanently in database. So the data will store temporarily once you close the connection and again you open the connection, the data will vanish if you do not issue the commit statement. But in Java, by default, our program will commit the all data. By default, it will be commit. Sometimes we'll have a requirement that we need to revoke the temporary data. The temporary data need to revoke it based on our requirement. So in case sometimes if you have a requirement to revoke the data, then we can change our program from auto commit to manual commit. That we can use For that we can use the method that is set auto commit is a method that is available in connection interface. The connection interface has a method that is set auto commit. If you make the set auto commit false, then the data which we are executing, the statements which we are executing from Java, so the data will not store in database permanently. It will be a temporarily. Once you issue the commit, then only the data will store permanently. So each insert or delete or update, we call it as a transaction. So that we call it as a transaction management. If you are inserting the data, if you are inserting one record, that is one transaction. So for that what we will do, as we know already, yes, for every program we have to follow the 5 steps. The very first step is we have to load the driver using class.funname method. Yes, here we are loading the driver in the very first step. Yes, we have loaded the driver. In the second step, we have to get the connection. So in order to get the connection, whenever this driver is loaded, the driver manager class will get enabled. The driver manager class is get enabled, and the driver manager class of get connection method will return the connection object. To get the connection, you need to pass this URL, that is the local host. You have to give all these parameters. The driver is the thin driver and it's a local host. So if it is in real time, here we'll give the server name and it's a port, the server port, and this is database name and username and password. If everything is okay, if everything is correct, then it will return the connection. Return the connection. Then this connection object has a method that is set auto commit method. So by default it is true. By default it is true. So auto commit, it is automatically committed. But we are making it as, we are converting this as a not to commit the transactions automatically by passing false. Yes. Now this transactions will not commit automatically unless we issue the commit statement. And then the third statement, we have to create a statement. Thus we can create a statement by using the connection object of a statement, create statement method. So here it will return the statement. So the statement is created. The statement is required to execute the queries. So if there is no statement, we cannot execute the queries. So the create statement will return the statement object. The statement object will have method, that is execute update method and execute query method. Either one we can use it. So execute update method, statement dot execute update. Here I am inserting the data into employee table. Here I am inserting the data into employee table. Insert into EMP values. So how many parameters, how many columns are there in employee table? So select start from EMP. Then I am executing this statement. So how many? Employee number, ENO, name, sal, and department number. These are the 4 columns are in this table. Now what I do, I delete this data. Delete from EMP. So what it will do is now it will delete all these records from EMP table. It's deleted. 9 rows are deleted. So now if I select, no records available because I have deleted all these records. No records, no data found. No data found. So this employee table doesn't has data, no records. So the result is no data found, no records, all records are deleted. Now what I do, just I close this connection and I will reopen the connection. Just I will close this connection and then I will reopen the connection again. Just observe what will happen. So as of now, there is no data in EMP table. Select start from EMP. Now I'm executing this statement. How it auto commit. So auto commit is previously the auto commit is enabled, so it's deleted the data permanently. Now what I do here, hmm, 34 is the employee number and the name. For name I'm passing Srini and salary passing department number 10. So run it. So one row inserted. Now I'm storing one more. 3, 2, 1. And Srini I'm changing to Ram. And then I'm inserting it. This statement. One row inserted. Now if you see, how many records are here? I have inserted 2 records. One is 1, 2, 3, 4, Srini and salary and department number 10. I have inserted 2 records. But now auto commit is not enabled. Auto commit is not enabled. So this data temporarily stored in database. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. Once if I close the connection and reopen the connection, then the data will not here because I did not commit it. I did not commit it. So once if I issue the commit statement, that is commit, and then if I execute this statement, then this data will store in database permanently. Otherwise this data will be temporarily up to this connection close. Once if I close the connection, it will not available this data. Just check it. Yes, I am closing the, and again I am opening the connection. Now if I select the data from EMP table, now I am running this. See, no data found. No data found because I did not issue the commit statement. Once if I issue the commit statement, then only the data will store permanently in database. So similarly from Java also, we have to issue the commit statement. So Java by default it's auto commit. It's by default auto commit. So in case if you not make this as auto commit false, by default it will be auto commit. Automatically it will commit it. Data will store permanently. Sometimes what happen, sometimes we require to revoke the data. Whatever we commit the data, that has to commit permanently, that has to commit temporarily, and then based on our requirement we have to revoke the data, we have to revert the data. So in such case we make our program to commit the transaction manually. For that we have to use set auto commit false. Set auto commit false. So here what I'm doing here, I'm making this program, this statement, this transaction as false. It is not auto commit. Manually we have to issue the commit. So here I'm inserting 2 records. Insert into employee values 1, 2, 3, 4. Shabaris is the salary, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. Virat is the salary, and then department number is 20. So now when I execute this program, right click run as Java application. Yes. So it's a success. Then if I check in database, see 1 2 3 4 salaries, salary is 6,500, department number 10, 5678 Virat, and 9,500, department number is 20. The two records are inserted. Two records are inserted. Once we close this connection and reopen, this records will not available here because we did not commit. We did not issue the commit. So here I make it disable. So if this data has to store permanently, then I need to issue the commit, that is con.commit. The commit method will store the data permanently. Previously, issue the commit, just I inserted, but I did not issue the commit. So once if I close the connection and again if I reopen the connection, then data will not available. Here already auto commit is enabled. Yeah, the data is available because here the auto commit is enabled so that the data is available. Here also I need to disable auto commit. Since here it is the auto commit available, this data is permanently stored. So we must issue the commit statement to insert the records permanently. And then previously here we are retrieving the data from database. So for retrieving the data, what's the query here? Here we'll write, let's start from using here I'm retrieving the data. So this is from run as Java application. Yeah. Now employee number 123 Shabaris and 6,500. So 568 Virat 9,500 is the salary. Now the connection is closed. Our connection is closed. Now we have option to see the result set metadata. So how we are getting these details? When we execute this query, statement.execute query, this query is returning the result. That result is storing in result set object. So this result set object has these records. Now if you see here is 1 2 3 4 Sabari 6,500. It's a result set data. Now, data about data. Data about data is a metadata. Data about data is a metadata. So you can see the result set metadata, that is how many columns are available in this employee table. Now you want to see, now this is the data, you want to see data about data, this data of data. So the result set data you want to, if you want to find out the result set data, that is metadata, data about data. So that is we can see the column names and the number of the columns in this table, in the employee table. If you want to see how many columns are in this table, now as of now employee table, how many columns are in this employee table? There are 4 columns, but here I am displaying only 3 columns data, that is employee number, name and salary. I am not displaying the department number. If you want to see how many columns are available in this table and what are the columns, the column names, and what are the column data type. So for employee number, it might be a number. So in database, it's a number, and varchar2, maybe it's a, varchar2 is equivalent to string. Number is equivalent to integer. So we can find out the type of the column, what type of this column, so that we can see using result set metadata, using result set metadata interface. So now here, so as usually for any Java, for any JDBC program, the very first step we have to load the driver, and then we need to create the connection, and then we need to create the statement. So I have created the statement, and then the result set, it will return the result set. So select star from EMT, there are many records, so it will return the result set. Now I want to get the metadata of this result set, so after getting the result set, rs.get metadata is the result set object has a method, that is metadata method. This metadata method will return the result set metadata object. So this result set metadata object will have all the metadata about that result set. So now what I am trying to get here is the result set metadata object rsmd dot get column counts. So how many columns are available in this table, it will count it by using this method rsmd dot get column count. The number of the columns it will return, the total columns it will return. And then column names, if you want to get column names, see here there are no column names. So now I want to find out the column names. So to find out the column names, I have a method, that is get column name of 1 is first index. So first positional column name. What is the first position column name? And then what is the second position and third position column name? And then if I want to find the column type, so which type it is, whether it is the number type or varchar2 type, which type it is, if you want to find out, by using the method get column type name of first index, first positioned column. So that it will return the number of columns and the column names. So see here, run as Java application. Now see total columns 4. Yes, see here how many columns here? 4 columns: employee number, employee name, salary and department number. And next what we are doing, column of the first column. What is the first column? ENO. Yes, first column is ENO. And then second column, so passing, we are passing second parameter. Second column is name. So here also is a name. Second column is name. And then third column is sal. So third column is sal. And the get column type name, what type it is, that is number type. The first column, employee number, is number type. In database, we'll have a data types that are number and varchar2. Number is equivalent to integer in Java, varchar2 is equivalent to string in Java. Generally, you will not use this in real time. Just for knowledge, explaining you, but you will not use it in real time. No more required. And then the next concept, the useful concept in JDBC is, so till now we have discussed about two types of statement. One is a statement, other one is prepared statement. One is the statement. Using statement, we can execute the queries. And also, we have a other option, that is prepared statement. Using this prepared statement, also you can execute the queries. But the difference between the statement and the prepared statement is, for the statement, the query has to compile and it has to execute it. Whereas for prepared statement, the prepared statement is pre-compiled, so there's no need to compile. Directly it will execute, so that it will give the better performance. So performance-wise, the prepared statement will give you a bit better performance. So it's recommended to use prepared statement. But using this statement and a prepared statement, we can execute only SQL statement. Those are select, insert, update, and delete. In Oracle database, we'll have other part, that is a PLSQL. So, using the PLSQL, we can write the logics. So in PLSQL, we'll have a procedures, functions, and packages. So if you want to call those procedures, functions, and packages, then we cannot call using this statement and the prepared statement. We cannot execute the procedures and functions using this statement and prepared statement. So sometimes what happens, we write the logic in Oracle and we'll call those procedures and functions. Yes, the same logic we can write from in Java itself. So sometimes based on the requirement, based on the project architecture, sometimes we will write the logic in database as form of procedures and functions. And then we need to call those procedures and functions from our Java. So in this case, we need to call those procedures and functions from Java. If you want to call those procedures and functions from Java, this statement and prepared statement are not useful. So to call those, we have other statement, that is callable statement. This is a callable statement. Using the callable statement, we can call the database procedures and functions, the Oracle procedures and functions. Now let us see how we can call those procedures and functions. And then first you have to know how it look like the procedures, how it will be the procedure. So this is the procedure. So how it will be the procedure, the database procedure. I will have a create or replace the procedure and then procedure name. The procedure name is insert employee is the procedure name. And then it will have a parameters. It's the same as our Java method. It's the same as our Java method. So our Java method will have a parameters, right? So here also we'll have a parameters. So here we'll have two types of parameters. as the in parameters and out parameters. And we have other parameter in out parameter also. Majorly have in parameters and out parameters. Through in parameters, we pass the values. We pass the values. It's the same as our Java method. In our Java method, we pass the value. We'll have a parameters. Through the parameters, we'll pass the value. So similarly, in Oracle also, the procedure will have a parameters. Those are in parameters and out parameters. So here I have all in parameters. Those are employee number is a parameter type. We need to mention that is in parameter. And the type, what type this parameter? The type of this parameter is EMP table dot ENO percentile type. It means that in EMP table, whatever the ENO type, the same type is applicable for PENO. So what is the type? Previously through result set metadata, we find out the type. It's a number type. So PENO is also number type. So similarly, PName and salary and department number, all these values we are passing. And then here we'll have a executable part, that is begin is a, this is the executable part in this procedure or function. So here I'm inserting the data into EMP table. Insert into EMP as employee number, name, star, department number, and then values I am passing. Those are PENO. This is the parameter. So those parameter values we have to pass it from Java object, from Java. So whatever the parameter here, the same parameter will be here. And then PName, PSAL, and PDepartment number. These all are the parameters. And then I'm issuing the commit statement. And then it will end the program. So through this procedure, just I'm inserting the data into database. But this data has to pass from Java. So now let us see how we will call this procedure. How we will call this procedure from Java. So in order to call that procedure from Java, then the same steps. Very first step, we have to load the driver. Yes, we have loaded the driver. It's the same. And second step, we have to get the connection. We get the connection. And third step, we have to create the statement. So here we are creating the callable statement. Which type of statement? Callable statement, because we have to call the procedure. So we need to create the callable statement. So to create the callable statement, the connection object will have a method, that is prepare call method, con.prepare call. So and then here this is the syntax in order to call the procedure. So within the brackets, the flower brackets, call insert employee. Insert employee is the procedure name. This procedure name we are calling. And then here we have 4 parameters, in parameters, PENO, PName, SAL, and department number, 4 in parameters. Then we need to set the values for these parameters. We need to set the values. So for PENO, we need to set the value. We need to pass the value from Java. So here I need to set the value. For setting the value for first positional parameter, so it is callable statement. It returns the callable statement object. So for this object, I need to set the values. So I'm setting the values. STMT is the callable statement object. Dot set int. Set int. Why it is a set int? Set int is the type. Which type of value we are setting? Integer type, because it's a number. Employee ENO is the number, so integer type. Set int of first index. This is the index. For first index, we are using triple seven, triple seven. As of now, there is no triple seven here. So triple seven. And then stmt dot set string for second position. What is the second position? Name. So the name is Virat. The name is Virat. And then for third position, the third index, the third positional parameter is set int of salary. Salary is integer type. So 3, this is the salary. And then fourth position, for the fourth position, what's the fourth position? Fourth position is department number. So set int of fourth position, that is 30. Department number is 30. So till now, just we set the values and we are calling it. Now we need to execute that statement. We need to execute the statement. So in order to execute the statement, we have a method, that is execute method, that is available in callable statement. So stmt.execute. Then immediately it will set all these values in this position parameter and it will call the insert employee. When it call insert employee, where this procedure is available, this procedure is in database. So then immediately it will call the database procedure. So it will come here. In the database procedure, this is the procedure. This procedure will call. In this procedure, for first parameter, what we are passing? Triple seven. Yes. So here PENO is triple seven. P name is Virat and P sal is 3 lakhs. P department number is 30. So PNO, this is the value here. Here, what will be the value? Triple seven. P name value is Virat. P sal value is 3 lakhs and P department number is 30. Then it will insert into database. It will insert into database. Now let us see whether it will insert into database or not by executing this program. Just right click on this program and then run as Java application. Yes, it's a success. So let us check it here. So for checking here, we need to select the data from EMP table. Select star from EMP and then run it. Yes, it's a success. It's inserted. There's a 777 Virat 3 lakhs and 30. Department number is 30. And similarly, using this callable statement, we can call the functions also. We can call the functions also. Now let us see one function, how it will be the PL/SQL function. So the PL/SQL function is so the function is also similar to a procedure. It's the same as a procedure. What happened? Yeah. So this function is also similar to, is it procedure or function? Oh, this one also function, huh? Procedure. Okay. So a function is not a function, it's a procedure. So a function also similar to a procedure. So here we'll have a create or replace. Instead of procedure, we'll have a function. The function will have a return type that will return only one value. It doesn't return multiple values. It will return only one value, whereas procedure will return multiple values. So in using previous procedure, we have inserted the data from this procedure. We are retrieving the data from this procedure. So when you are retrieving the data from procedure, we will pass any one input parameter and then we'll retrieve the other details. So if you want to retrieve other details, each retrieved column must have one out parameter. As I explained to you previously, the procedures will have a in parameters, out parameters and in out parameters. So the in parameter to pass the values, the out parameters to hold the value which we will retrieve from the database. So here we are retrieving the data, that is from name, salary and department number. For each and every column, we require one out parameter. So all input parameters, for input parameters, we need to set the data. For output parameters, we need to register the out parameters because we need to capture the data and has to hold the values, retrieved values. So that we need to register the out parameters. So it's the same, we are preparing the call and then get employee by ID, get employee by ID. It means by passing the ID, employee ID, I want to retrieve the details. So previously I inserted 777. So here I am passing 777. So by passing this employee ID, when I give this employee ID, then it has to retrieve the remaining details. So where the employee ID is 777, those details it has to retrieve. So which details it has to retrieve? So 777 details. The name is Virat, salary is this is a salary 3 lakhs, and the department number is 30. So here we have one input parameter and remaining all are output parameters. All output parameters need to register. So for in parameter, here how many in parameters? One in parameter and three out parameters. Three out parameters. So for one input parameter, we need to set the value. So that's the object is a callable statement. Callable statement dot set int. For first position, we are setting the value that is 777. Then for second parameter, we are registering the second parameter. So callable statement dot register out parameter. We have to use the method that is register out parameter, and that is the second position. The type is java.sql.type.varchar. Varchar is string. So the string is support all integer type or string type, whatever the type. If you put varchar, it will support all the types. And similarly, the third, for third position, we need to, the third position is out parameter. So we need to register all the out parameters. And then the same as the previous program, we need to execute this procedure. So for that, callable statement dot execute method will execute that procedure. So then when we pass this and then callable statement dot execute, then this procedure will call. So if we come here in this procedure, what parameters here? In parameter only one, that is 777. Yes, it will come the 777 here, and these all are the out parameters. So here select statement, select name, sal, department number into O name is the out parameter. So for out parameter prefix is O, for in parameter we put prefix is P. So for out parameter the prefix is O, sal, O, department number from EMP table where ENO is PENO. What is the PENO? Here we are passing the value 777. So it retrieve what it will retrieve where the employee number is 777. Those salary, those name, salary, and department number it will retrieve and will store in out parameters. So these out parameter will return to the Java. So now for the first position we'll have the name, for second position we have a name and sal and department number. The same we are getting. So those are available in callable statement. The same we are getting from this callable statement. Callable statement dot get string of second position. What is the second position value? It is getting, and then third position value also getting, fourth position value is also getting, and these values, the out parameter values are storing in name, sal, and department number. Name, sal, and department number. So now in order to check what is the values, we need to print those values, name and sal and department number. So for that we are writing the print statements. So and then we are printing those values. So let us run this program and check what will be the values. Run as Java application. So employee name is Virat, employee salary, and then department number is 30. Yeah, this is about JDBC. So by this session, our JDBC has completed, and from tomorrow session we will see the servlets. And I will see you in tomorrow session. Until then, take care, bye bye, and good night.